Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I remain your girl, Harper's Beloved. So today we'll be talking about inferiority complex. Yeah, we'll be talking about inferiority complex. What is inferiority complex? What is inferiority complex? Welcome back. What is inferiority complex? Yeah, according to Google, people said inferiority complex is an unrealistic feeling. Yeah, an unrealistic feeling of general inadequacy. So to my words, I would say inferiority complex is a persistent low self-esteem. Persistent low self-esteem. What is low self-esteem? Low self-esteem is when you see yourself less of others. Yes, when you see yourself less of others. When you feel like you're not too good enough for people, when it's like, oh, you're not doing better, oh, you're not this, you know, that when you talk less of yourself, when you talk down of yourself, that is what I call low self-esteem to my own words. So what are the signs of inferiority complex? Number one is feeling of insecurity. Yes, when you begin to feel insecure around people, you don't trust people. Yeah, you're feeling like, oh, that person might be this. So you're feeling of insecure. Another thing is incomplete. When you feel incomplete, you feel like something is missing. You're standing and you feel like you don't rate to hold. That's like, see this person, she's on makeup, I'm not on makeup. Am I even beautiful? Oh, see this person, she pierced her ears and my hair is not pierced. You begin to feel less important. You begin to feel incomplete of yourself. Another thing is feeling of unworthiness. You feel like you're not worthy. What they call is, oh, you're going to represent us, and like me, oh no, I'm not qualified. So feeling of unqualified. Another thing, another sign that you have an inferiority complex when you see yourself withdrawing from everyday activities, withdrawing yourself from social situations, things that make people happy. You just feel yourself withdrawing from them. When people are talking, you just can't contribute because you'll be like, what if, in quotes, what if my suggestion is unwelcomed? What if I'm not even speaking the right English? What if my color is not the best? What if I'm not even beautiful enough to contribute to these discussions on ground? These are signs of inferiority complex. Feeling of inferiority complex is in comparison. You practically compare yourself with other people. Oh, look at that, he's my age mate and he has this I don't have. Comparison. Another thing is when you're feeling hostile, when you're feeling frustrated, you are nervous, you're aggressive. But let me dwell more on aggressiveness. We have a lot of people who are aggressive these days, especially Nigerians. Oh goodness. We have a lot of people who are aggressive these days, and that might be a sign of inferiority complex. Causes of inferiority complex. The first thing I would say is negative childhood experience. Oh, hi, talking to you right now. I'm also a victim of negative childhood experience. Yes, I have people who are talked down at me because I was slim. Don't let me use the word lean. I was so slim. I was as slim as any other thing. So they call me ego, and that's actually bullying. Everybody has a sort of names for my stature. Some call me Higo, some call me Lekpa, and all over. So they made my stature feels like, oh, I'm not it. I don't look like other child and all of that. Negative childhood experience, and this is where it starts from majority of us. Negative childhood experience. Some of us we don't even get enough love from our parents. Yeah, they take care of us physically. Okay, let me tell you a short story about myself. I happen to be the last born of the family, and kind of the extrovert type, and I have brothers who are introverts. So for one reason or the other, when I feel like they were not doing something right, I really want to speak up. If I know I really want to, I do speak up. And majority of the time when I speak up, oh, I receive the scolding of my life from my mother. You know how African mothers can be. So I received the best scolding of my life from my mother, and thereby it starts limiting, it starts creating this fear into me. I'm sometimes you'll be like, do you want to be controlling your brothers? Do you know the yourself kind of dream thing? And mother feels like, oh, I want to be controlling my brothers. I want them to be bowing down to me. Why am I really the one seeing things that are wrong and all of that? Another thing I also experienced while growing up was from my grandma. Every now and then she practically calls me bastard. Why? Because we fight almost all the time. For telling her the truth actually. So she feels like how can a young girl of my age knows what's true compared to her being my grandma. So every now and then she calls me bastard, and it makes me feel like I'm actually a bastard. Come to think of it, I'm the only thin person in my family. As a 10, come on, you need to compare me now to some slim people Alright, so you see negative childhood experience. These are actually major causes of a lot of us inferiority complex where our parents are too strict. At some point I love playing with guys. My parents will be on my neck. They will beat and beat. You see a lot of things. Words sinks deeper. Words sinks deeper, especially in childhood. You feel like you're not accepted. Have you ever done something and then after you done it, your mom talk like, "Are you the only one? Do you want to kill me?" Then you start feeling dejected, like, "Oh, I'm making my mother unhappy, or I'm making my father a bad father because of what I've done." Like you feel like, "Oh, I should have done this better. I should have done this better." Yeah, that is the right word to use. Then another thing is abuse. When people start like, "Oh, you cannot amount to anything." Especially in Yorubas have a way of talking down girls' child when we are very young. I'm really, really practical in this video, and I'm sorry, this is not to bring our mothers down, but so I was saying this is not to bring our mothers down. Of course, they're the best. I love my mom, she's the best. But I was just saying, okay, while growing up as well, another thing, people don't, ọmọ yẹn ó ti bẹ́ẹ̀, but non Yorubas, that means you're too forwarded. And call on joke. Stuff like that. That means when you get to the river before you fetch water, automatically what they are saying is that you should get married. They're praying you should get married before you get pregnant, because with the way you are, you might get pregnant anytime. And that's just words that begin to sink deep. Some of them are like, "Oh, you're good for nothing." Even when you're doing things that are good, you feel so remorseful, like, I don't even know if this is good. Abusive words. Our environment, our environment also speaks a lot. So we have a lot. I can go on and on and on, because while growing up, I also have inferiority complex. As a matter of fact, it took me time. So it took me time to heal up. I must tell you, and this should bring me to how to deal with inferiority complex. If anyone tells you that you're going to get rid of inferiority complex overnight, trust me, it's a lie. It goes gradually. You deal with it as it comes gradually. And well, to me, how do I overcome inferiority complex? The first thing I did was to actually identify what brought about the inferiority complex for me. So this is what applicable to me. It might not be applicable to yours, but you can tell me in this comment section what you think you've done, if you've overcome, and if you're yet to overcome, you can actually practically try what people put in the comment section, or you try out this piece of advice from me. The first thing for me was to identify the causes of everyone owns difference, it varies. Some might be their parents, some might be their environment, some might be their friends, bullying in secondary school, even in primary schools. Some might be because of your stature, some might be because of your color, some might be because of your hair. I also have something similar to hair, because I don't have front hair, so I put less of myself. I feel incomplete. But that's just by the way. So you need to identify your courses. Now, from my own, I realized it's my environment and also a negative childhood experience. Majorly for me, it was a negative childhood experience. Go about this. First is, I started looking at the good side of my parents. The good sides in the sense that my mom is a kind of person who is, she doesn't really care about your emotions. That she doesn't even know. They were not taught. They were only training us the way they were being trained. Forgotten that we're in the tech world. So I realized my mom's love language might not necessarily be "no, I love you." It's not word of affirmation, yeah. So my mom love language to me was gifts. It was looking after me in a way I would not recognize, and she wouldn't speak of. My mom's love language was prayers. Oh, you need to see my mom, she's a prayer woman. Shout out to my mother. Alright, so I was saying she's for my dad. It wasn't also love of affirmation. Practically for my family, it wasn't word of affirmation. Absolutely no. But there was this love unspoken, but in actions in my family. While growing up, while I was thinking I was being traumatized emotionally, but my brother can go any length for me. Probably because I was the last one. Shout out to all last ones. Probably because I was the last one. So I began to see the good side rather than the bad side of my parents and my family. This is where my healings come from. I remember the very first time I told my mom I loved her, and the look on her face was like, huh? It sounds strange in our home while growing up. Not anymore. So I begin to look at the good side of my parents and of my family. And of the truth, I know they really care. But because of my age and the capacity of what my brain can carry as then, I thought it was an abuse and it really sink into me. Okay, so the first thing was realizing what the problem was. And for me, it was a negative childhood experience. So I decided to correct that from my home, from my family. I can be so affirmative, so I begin to tell my mom, "Oh, mom, I love you." At the time, I throw a kiss. These things sounds or look strange to them, but I begin to do it. Somehow. I begin to. Then, okay, I also read books. The second thing to deal with is you need to be a book lover, even if it's just 4 or 5 pages. Yeah. So I begin to read books. One book that drastically changed my stages of inferiority complex was the book written by T.D. Jakes, A Lady, a Lord, and a Lover. Oh, these books practically changed everything about me. It teaches me how to celebrate myself. It teaches me how to love myself. It teaches me how to love others. A Lady, a Lord, and a Lover by T.D. Jakes. I recommend for you. The next one is I found myself in the company of good friends. I found myself in a company of good friends. Friends who won't talk down on me. Friends who wouldn't look down on me. Friends who would see what I don't see in myself. Yeah. In almost every of my videos, I talk about friends. Yeah. Friends like Jonathan to David in the Bible. No friends like what's that guy's name that actually raped Tamara's brother? Yeah. No, Jochebed or something. No, not that kind of friends that will actually advise our friends to rape their sisters. No, not that kind of friends that will keep pushing you that, oh, you need to get a girlfriend, you need to get a boyfriend before your life is complete. Absolutely no. Friends that push you to pray. Okay, so overcoming your inferiority complex, I said number one thing is, what are the causes? How did you get there? Is it from bullying, parents abused, environment, negative childhood experience, and the likes? So once you get that, the next thing to do is now read books. Yeah, I remember I read books. The next thing is make good friends, make godly friends like Jonathan and David in the Bible. Of course, those are my definition of best friend. Best friend who don't compromise no matter what. Best friend who keeps seeing the greatness in you. Make good friends. Not friends who will make you feel less of yourself. Not friends who will make you feel less complete. I was saying that the reason why I'm here and you can see myself on this YouTube video is because a friend motivated me too. They saw the potential in me while I didn't even see it. So that's number 3 thing you should do. And then lastly, on today's lastly from my hand and for today on how to deal with inferiority complex is word of affirmation. I was saying you need to see my video on identity. It should help alert. You can also hide yours if you so wish. Alright, so word of affirmation. Paste it in the words of your room. Teach yourself your identity. Master it till it becomes natural to you. Then teach yourself your identity till it becomes natural. It becomes natural to you. Paste it in the words of your room. Say it. Have friends who say it to you. Have families who keep reminding you. And don't stop declaring these words of affirmation. If anyone has ever told you you're beautiful, you're ugly rather, it may be very, very difficult for you to come out of that negative and bullying word, especially when it comes from childhood experience. So make word of affirmation your daily routine. Let it register. If you have to make it your phone ringing tone, please do so. If it has to be your message tone, please do so. Paste it in the words of your room. Declare it when you wake up. Look at the mirror and tell yourself, "Come on, babe, you're beautiful. You know, I am the 6th day walk of my Father in heaven. And come on, see the way I'm beautiful." Oh, have they ever called you? So have anyone ever called you a dullard before? Or they ever called you a failure? No, that's not your identity. So come on, can you brace up and tell yourself, "No, I am not a failure. I am not a dullard. I am good at what I do. I am good at what I do." If ever anybody has ever called you, "Oh, you're good for nothing, you're not going to amount to anything," keep on telling yourself, "Baby girl, no, I would amount to something good. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I can get to the pinnacle of my career. It doesn't now make how much it takes. Yes, I might have failed, but I'll surely succeed." These are many other words of affirmation. You're brilliant. Yes, you can pray. Oh, come on. So you are not what anybody thinks you are. Inferiority complex, there's a rate of a lot of things, but you cannot afford to settle. If you keep going this way with the inferiority complex, it will affect not just you, people around. Stages of inferiority complex, it won't just affect you. It should affect your family, people around you, your partner, your children. Yeah, your children. So you need to deal with it now before it eventually deals with everything in your life. So please, you have more to you. I'm calling for the greatness in you. There is more to you than what every other person can say right now. I tell you, there is more to you. You're beautiful, you're not ugly. People say, oh, he works like a guy. No, there was then people also mimic me like my work. I don't know. People just have a lot of definition of you in your head. Please don't permit them. Don't. Don't. Don't ever permit people's opinion, people's decision about you. I mean about me, not about them. I am the handwork of Christ. The Bible says I am fearfully and wonderfully made. What are your declarations? What are your word of affirmation? Don't settle for people's decision. Don't settle for people's speech. Don't settle for bullying. Never. So rise up and stand. Rise up and be who God has called you to be. Rise up and be that greatness. Rise up and be that baker, that fashionista, that model. Yeah, that model. That beautiful, gracious, handsome God has called you to be. So if you have any challenges, questions, opinion, kindly drop in the comment section. I'll be glad to attend to you. So thank you very much for watching my YouTube video. I remain your girl, Abbas Beloved. Please, 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 please subscribe, like, comment, share to your friends. I love you so much.